we were working on writing some songs for Cruising, the movie Cruising, and we submitted it to Jack Neach, who we were working with, and they rejected it. And then I was like, I'm going to sing this.
Today on Rainbow Country, Rough Trade, a tribute to the late, great Kevan Staples, co-founder of the groundbreaking Canadian synth-rock new wave band, Rough Trade. So on this episode, a flashback to my 2020 interview with Kevan Staples and Carole Pope, where we chat about their 2020 induction into the Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame for their track, High School Confidential. We'll also find out just how they originally met, and so much more.
Hi, I'm Christopher Rice, and this is Rainbow Country with Mark Tara.
Kevan Staples, hi, how are you?
Very well. Nice to meet you.
You too, virtually. Carole Pope, how are you? Hello.
I'm okay. How are you?
I am well. I always say this, but thank you both for being here to have your voices, your stories be heard by the LGBT community and beyond. So thank you both so much. I am in awe of the two of you because I was telling Kevan Staples this, Carole Pope. And you also know this, but I have your records. I literally have your vinyls for your records. That the ones that you pressed and you made on vinyl. Let's start here. Yay, I know. Let's start here. Hall of Fame 2020. You were both inducted into the Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame for your song, High School Confidential. Congrats. Carole Pope, how does it feel to be a Hall of Famer?
Well, I'm really flattered to be recognized. But also, I think, what took so long, if I have to be honest, because this is a very iconic song.
Why do you think it took so long?
Oh, who knows? I don't know. I don't know the workings of... No, I don't know. I mean, maybe people overlook that song, but, I think it is one of the iconic Canadian songs.
Absolutely.
And, it was trend-setting in a way.
Kevan Staples, how do you feel being a Hall of Famer in 2020?
Like Carole says, it's very flattering, and I think for me it's nice to get recognized for the craft of songwriting as opposed to, say, the commerce of selling records. So it was kind of yes, thank you for that, because it's nice to get recognized for what you do and what you love to do as far as being a creative person and writing. And songwriting has been, everything for Carole and I. For we've worked together for almost 20 years, and so to get recognized for that was great.
Any thoughts on why it took so long?
I can't speculate on that. If a quick answer would be to say it's Canada. It takes a long time for us to recognize our artists. But, I think I also have to say that that's not why you do what you do, and that's not what you're waiting for. But it is nice once in a while to get the pat on the back. It did take 40 years, but it was worth it. There, nice going there. Too bad you're retired. But, it was still nice to be, it's fine. It's not why you do it, At the end of the day, we knew when we started it was going to be a hard road that we took as far as what we were doing in a pop industry. So, yeah, it was fun. It was good. And I'm glad the song got the recognition. And it's nice to have that bit of immortality, shall we say.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So SOCAN, the Society of Composers, Authors, and Music Publishers, in 2017, you both received the SOCAN Classic Award, commemorating more than 100,000 radio performances in Canada for the song High School Confidential. Carole Pope, when you and Kevan Staples were writing High School Confidential, did you have a sense that this track would be different somehow?
Not really. It was originally written. We were working on writing some songs for Cruising, the movie Cruising, and we submitted it to Jack Neach, who we were working with, and they rejected it. And then I was like, I'm going to sing this, even though, I was thinking that Mink DeVille, who was working on it, would sing it. And then I'm like, I'm going to sing it. So yeah, I had no idea. It just became, just people related to it for various reasons, either because they thought it was, oh yeah, high school, or they're like, oh, she's singing about a woman,
And Kevan Staples, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah,
Did you have a sense that this was a special song at all?
No, and it's, I don't know if you ever. When you're writing, you say, "Oh, this is a really good song," or "I really like the song."
But you never know what's going to hit, right?
Yeah, but you don't know what's going to hit, and certainly High School took us both by surprise, I think, but pleasant. I think a lot of it had to do with that it got bleeped. To tell you the truth, that gave it a lot of traction for sure, and then people were talking about it. And the song is quite simplistic, as far as a song goes, and that's always helps to make things popular. And it's colorful. It's a colorful story. Carole's always had a great, knack for telling a colorful story with interesting twists and turns. So that song has all those elements in it. And I think when you're writing it, I have to say, I think for Carole and I, a lot of times when we're writing, we're sort of amused by what we're saying and doing.
Yeah, we were writing for us. We wanted to make us happy, but in turn, that makes your audience happy because they can tell you're in it. You're in it. You're not faking it. You're for real.
You're getting off on what you're singing about.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's go back in time a bit because Kevan, you just mentioned this. So Rough Trade was signed to True North Records. You release High School Confidential. Chum FM contacts you guys to find out if, hey, maybe you might consider altering a line, tweaking, maybe bleeping a line. And the line is, "It makes me cream my jeans when she comes my way." Kevan Staples, what happened?
What happened? Well, they wanted to play the song. The song was obviously getting, some interest, and they wanted to play it, but they didn't feel they could play it with those lyrics. And they asked and they even offered to pay for it. Would we go back in the studio, re-record the vocal and change that line? And we said, we hummed and hawed and we talked about it. And then Carole, we decided okay, we'll do it. And we went in and tried various ridiculous things to come up with to say, and which we thought was amusing, but then in the end we said, nobody seemed to think what we were doing was really that funny.
We were amused.
Yeah, we were amused by the alternative lines, but so we said, well, let's just bleep it. And I'm going to go 40 years later, and they were still asking us to do that when we got the award.
Yeah.
They wanted to broadcast the song. They wanted us to change the lyrics. It's 40 years later.
Really?
So this time, we just told them, no, we'll keep it the same, but you can bleep it. Because that's really, it was just kind of an affront, really. Even the radio station making that offer was kind of ridiculous. So we just put a giant, in the middle of the song, which, again, it's like, wow, that's just making the song even more popular. And
more provocative. Like, what's she saying? What the hell is she saying?
What did she say? Anyway.
And Carole, was that commonplace back in the day for a radio station to say, hey, can you
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. We did that song. I don't know what happened on the Junos. Did they bleep the Junos? I can't remember.
No, I don't think they did.
And that's national television. I don't think so. And we actually did that before it was recorded. So that when we played that song on the Junos, that song hadn't even been recorded yet. So.
And Chum FM ended up playing the bleeped out version.
Yeah,
and then that takes off.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. And I think there was a point when they started playing it unbleeped when it became, I don't know, who knows? It was a few years later that it was okay to play it. But here, 40 years later, still asking for that. It's kind of weird.
I know. Yeah. Who are we? I mean, we're not like we're some rappers or, it's not like we're really saying anything obscene. It's so tame. It's so tame.
Yeah.
Cream. What is wrong with Cream? Did they play that Prince song, Cream?
It's the imagery, Carole.
Oh, okay.
It's so provocative.
Because it's about female ejaculation. That's exactly what it is. Female empowerment and female ejaculation.
And what's wrong with that?
Nothing, but people can't handle that. They can't handle the idea of a woman, getting off that way.
So the two of you started off in a folk group called O. You then became the Bullwhip Brothers. By 1973, you were Rough Trade. Okay,
there's a sadomasochistic thread here.
So here's the question. Kevan Staples, how did you meet Carole Pope?
How did I meet Carole? I was playing with two crazy European guys, one that was a piano player and a violin player. And we decided after dropping acid many, many times that we should form a band. So we needed a singer because none of us could sing. So somebody decided to set up auditions. And I swear to God, I don't remember anybody else but Carole. And she showed up with her guitar and her hair draped over her face. And she was and proceeded to play these songs, which I just thought were amazing. And I left those two crazy European guys and said, I'm going to hang out with this person. And we got together and started writing songs. And then we lived together for a few years and, history was made. But I just remember thinking that when I first heard her sing and when I first heard the lyrics to the songs that she was writing, that I thought that she was really someone really special and made a big impression on me as a young, impressionable, acid-ridden child.
Man-child.
So Carole,
sorry.
So Carole, was there chemistry from the get-go then?
Yeah, I just, I thought Kevan was really amazing, interesting person. He was a little bit androgynous. He was beautiful. So, well, if that was appealing.
As well as musically.
Yeah. Yes, because we spent a lot of time talking about music and seeing music, going to hear music.
Yeah.
So the songs that Rough Trade created, that you guys created, were political in nature, pushing the boundaries of sex and sexuality, even covered by some iconic celebrities, music icons like Dusty Springfield. Even Tim Curry, probably best known as Frankenfurter in the iconic film Rocky Horror Picture Show, did a cover of Birds of a Feather in 1978. Carole Pope, thoughts on Dusty Springfield covering your music and Tim Curry?
Tim Curry, that happened through Bob Ezrin because we were friends with Bob Ezrin, who was producing Tim. And
it's a great version.
Yeah, it is. It is really good. And it was just great hanging out with him. And I went to see him in Amadeus because he was on Broadway in Amadeus. He was just a fun, brilliant person. And then Dusty, well, I was involved with her, so that's how that happened. And she actually sings on one of our tracks with my late brother, The Sacred and the Profane. But yeah, Dusty was a brilliant artist, a very innovative artist who had to go through a lot of shit to get her stuff recorded the way she wanted. You know, she knew exactly what she wanted. She was very meticulous about, you know, every word, every note that she sang. So yeah, it was great to work with her.
You know, her version of I Am Curious, the song that she covered from you guys, reminds me of Prince. It's very Prince-esque. I love it.
Well, we wrote that for her. We just wrote that specifically for her.
Mm-hmm. It's great.
Oh, thank you.
Softcore too. That was really good.
Yeah.
And Kevin Staples, thoughts on Tim Curry covering you, Dusty Springfield covering you?
You know, it's always flattering when somebody wants to perform your songs, first of all, and to have those people want to perform them is even better. Tim was such a theatrical person. He really appreciated Carole's theatrical sense in the songs. He also did Grade B movie. Didn't he do Grade B?
I think maybe he did. Yeah.
Didn't he? Or maybe I'm mistaken. But
that German person did.
Rules did Grade B movie. That's
yeah.
And Dusty, well, you know, Dusty's special, and she appreciated songs and songwriting, and she loved Carole, and she loved what Carole was saying. For me, that moment of being in the studio with her, and it was just the two of us, was really a special moment for me. And I just, you know, it was one take, and it's flattering. It's very flattering. And Nona, our work with Nona was really special too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I mean, you know, they did a theater show here at Buddies in Bad Times years ago with 6 women, and they did all our songs, and it was just the piano and the ladies singing their song, and it was just really great to be able to hear them from that perspective, because you're so used to being inside that box, and then to have that ability to look at it it's nice. It's very nice. What can I say? It's just very flattering, and also really gives you a perspective on the writing that you didn't have before.
So let's talk about opening acts. New York City, Danceteria, REM opened up for Rough Trade.
Yeah.
Who wants to tackle that one?
Well, I mean, that was Jim Farrat, right? Was the reopening, I think, of Danceteria. It had closed, and then it reopened, and Jim was running the show, and Jim was a fan. REM, I vaguely remember, you know, as being a good band. And
I don't even remember if we talked to them or anything. I mean, I wish I had.
But people ask those questions, have been asked this question before, and I have to say, at least for me, that I sort of was with blinders on a lot of the time with respect to our career, and kind of unfortunately didn't pay a lot of attention to what was going around. And so people say, like, what was it like in this era? I said, I don't know. I was just looking at, you know, self-centered, right? And in a way, I kind of regret that I didn't take in a little bit more of that stuff. But it was great to be playing in that club and that reopening of that. And Jim was such a fan. It was really an exciting time.
And and Diane Brill and Rudolph, who ran Danceteria, they were such larger than life characters, especially Diane Brill, who I'm friends with on Facebook. And Jim, who I'm still, you know, I see him in New York sometimes. He's still like radical. Because I think he was at Stonewall. I mean, he's a really interesting character. And then he became a record executive after Danceteria at Mercury.
Okay, so we're talking about opening acts, and we were just talking about REM opening up for Rough Trade. Talking about opening acts, Carole Pope and Kevan Staples, David Bowie. Rough Trade opened for David Bowie back in '83. Carole Pope, talk to me about this, because you write about this in your best-selling book, Anti-Diva.
How did that happen?
It was what's his name? The promoters.
Oh yeah, CPI.
But
What's his name?
guys, those the family that's been, I can't remember their name.
That guy. It was that guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, but Bowie obviously knew about us, and
he liked you guys.
Yeah. But the first time, our first gig with him, he was standing on stage watching us, and that's the only time I really got to talk to him. But anyway, it was just like really thrilling to be on that tour, and he was really sweet and, you know, an amazing person, amazing talent, and we hung out with his band all the time because we knew them. What else, Kevin?
It was my honeymoon.
Oh yeah.
Because Marilyn and I got married on the 1st, and then we were playing with Bowie on the 3rd of September in Toronto, and then we played in Winnipeg and also in Vancouver. Yeah, it was a thrill. It was great. We didn't want it to end. It was a little like fairy tale, and we wanted to run away with the circus. You know, when they left Vancouver, they were going to Japan, I think.
No, and they wanted us to go with them to Australia and all of that, but we didn't get tour support from
your record company.
Yeah. So that was very disturbing and sad. And
why do you think they did that, Carole? The record company?
Oh, I don't think they were looking at the big picture and, like, you know, spending money, you know, investing in that would have been great for our career and great for them, but I don't know. It's Canada. I'm going to just say Canada again.
It's CANADA. No, I think also I think for the record company, maybe, you know, they just, like Carole said, they didn't really feel that Rough Trade was worth investing in. We're kind of a novelty act, I guess, for them. But it would have been fun for sure to complete that tour and go play some more dates, because the audience was very receptive, at least in Canada. We had plenty of fans in the audience, so it was great. It was great to play to those.
And we did tape that TV special, and I've never been able to find the R part of it. I mean, I've seen the Bowie part, but I'm trying to figure out what network that was on, Prime or something.
I'm not sure.
It doesn't exist anymore, whatever it was.
Right.
And I would love to find it. And
the bass player in Bowie's band was Carmine, and he was had been working with Nona, and was on the records that we had done some, you know, when we were working with Nona. I had met Carmine in the studio, and we met him at his house, or at her house. And so he was already a fan too, which was nice.
Mm. Thrilling.
Yes, it was. It was great. It was the band was great. It was a great band, and the band that we had was a really good band. It was a lot of fun. And I still have Earl Slick's guitar pick that I picked up from the stage, because I use that to write all my music with. It still works.
So Rough Trade recorded 6 albums, 4 gold albums, 1 platinum, 1 double platinum album. After the group disbanded, Kevan Staples, you had a successful career creating music for TV, for film. When you're creating music for television, for film, when you're creating a pop song, are you approaching these things differently, or is creating music? It just happens.
It's a bit of both. So I mean, when you're, it's a bit of both. The difference is that with Rough Trade, the creative process was pretty free of boundaries, in the sense that, you know, you could go anywhere and explore any option, because you had no nobody sort of looking over your shoulder or no guidelines. And then after that, everything after that was basically you're more of a crafts person. You're being hired to create something that fits a certain set of parameters. Especially if you're working in commercials and you're doing commercials for a product, you're in a lot of confined spaces of what you have and what they want, and you're basically providing that. So it's a little more being in a service industry. The same, and then if you're working with a film project, you might have a relationship with a director that's a little more looser and creative, and in which case, then you have some more latitude, but certainly not the complete freedom that you would have, obviously, writing for yourself and also writing, to be, you have complete control over what you're doing, or at least the record company gave us complete control. So there's a lot more freedom, but the process of creativity is always the same. You're just trying to mine that channel of energy and inspiration that's inside of you and get it out. But the parameters are different, certainly.
So earlier I mentioned in 2017, you both received the SOCAN Classic Award, commemorating more than 100,000 radio performances in Canada for High School Confidential. In 2020, you both were inducted into the Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame for the song High School Confidential, a Canadian classic that has, I think, truly stood the test of time. Kevan Staples, when you sit back and you think about that song, a Canadian classic, what comes to mind? What do you think about the fact that you created this?
Well, that song has such, it has such great legs, and it's just been, it's always fun to play. It's always fun to perform. I think the biggest.
And it gets licensed a lot.
It's licensed a lot. Makes
a lot of movies on.
I think one of the things.
It makes money.
One of the things that happens a lot that I do like is that I'll run into people, people that come say, I was a kid when I heard that song, and it really made a big difference to, my being comfortable with myself, in a sense, or coming out, or to be knowing that there was other options, or just kind of being an affirmation for a lot of young people. And that always makes me feel really great, although it certainly wasn't anything that I was thinking about while doing it. It is after the fact has been a big part of what made that song more meaningful to me. Aside from everything else that's happened with it, that seems to be something that is quite often, I'll have people tell me that. And I think that's really great. And I feel really, proud of that. In fact, that's one of the things I feel most proud about Rough Trade. It's just that, that we did give people that freedom, I guess, to just feel that, things were okay. And we were just having a lark in many ways, but the politics of the situation were, when I look back on it, it was a pretty strong stand that we took. And a lot of people got some positive energy out of that, which is great. It makes me not regret all the crap that you sort of tend to forget over time, and then and not feel quite so frustrated by the fact that we never really attained the kind of notoriety that we perhaps wished we had. So there is a payoff there. And that song, 40 years later, like you say, the last two times that we've recorded it in the last year, it's just sounded great. It's just really sounded, and I don't mean to say that I'm not being, I'm just saying it sounds good. And the song still has great, pith even today.
Mm-hmm. And Carole Pope? Creating this song that has stood the test of time. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's anthemic, as I said before. It's a very visual song. You can see the person walking down the corridor in the high school. I think I wrote it kind of based on
creaming their jeans.
No, I'm like watching I'm a watcher. I love to watch people, and that's how I write. And I think I was partially inspired by this blonde bombshell that went to my school, and also Craig Russell also went to my school, and I didn't really know what to make of Craig Russell because I'd never seen anybody like him. But yeah, he went to my high school. And yeah, and I mean, I knew, and also I was like, oh, later on I was like, I love drag queens. I mean, we used to go and see drag queens all the time. A drag queen gave us one of our big breaks, Mama Cooper, Murray Cooper, who used to play downstairs at the Colonial. And he also had a club called Mama Cooper's in the 70s.
A dance club.
Yeah. I remember like battling drag queens. I remember a bunch of battling Supremes. There was like 3 sets of Supremes beating each other up. I don't know. I think all of that inspired me.
Well, I have to say, this has been such a pleasure, such an honor. Like I said at the beginning, I have your vinyl, I have your records. And I was saying this to Kevan Staples earlier. I think that's one thing that's missing in the digital age is the ability to have something like 12 inches by 12 inches, an album, and to have the artwork and the inner sleeves and the artwork that you guys did for your records. Weapons comes to mind. The imagery on that, fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah, that was general idea. Because they worked on most of our album covers, and they're amazingly talented artists.
And I think that art is missing in this modern era when it comes to music and people releasing, digital music, singles, MP3s, that sort of thing.
But vinyl is really, really popular. It's more popular than CDs right now. And cassettes are really popular for some ungodly reason. But I still have some, and they sound pretty. I was playing them, and I was like, these don't sound that bad. The ones that will play, because they don't stand the test of time.
No, they do sound good. Vinyl is good. Scratches and all.
Yeah.
It's real, baby.
Kevan Staples, thank you for your time. Carole Pope, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mark. It was great. Nice to meet you virtually.